Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today we'll be doing a stock review of GreenSky and Bitcoin. GreenSky and Bitcoin. And the reason I'm going to go over Bitcoin again, I'm going to continuously go over Bitcoin because in the way of the future, Bitcoin is finding numerous of ways of implementing themselves, indulging themselves in the regular stock market, their own cryptocurrency stock market, and also technology businesses. So Bitcoin is going to be very vital in the road ahead. So let's first talk about GreenSky. We're going to go over to Robinhood and look at GreenSky. Give me a second here, guys. Now, GreenSky, for the most part, essentially has not been doing that well as people thought they would be. Doing. But we're going to see how we could possibly find some sort of value in GreenSky. Okay, today they're up 1.5. Okay, they're up 1.5. The past week they've been doing fairly well with 5.24%. For the past month, though, they've been down 1.5. Let's just look for their entirety on the stock market here. So look at this. Now they came on the market back in 2018. And they're essentially down 76%. So overall, that's what I like to look at this timeline in order to get a good analysis of the history. But that does not dictate how that particular stock will perform in the future. Again, you should be investing futuristically with your stocks, especially if you're going to get a great volume of GreenSky stocks. Now let's read a little bit about it so you know more about it, okay? So right here we have GreenSky. It's a technology company. It operates, and a matter of fact, it's a financial technology company. It operates as a lending platform that enables retailers, healthcare providers, and home contractors to offer loans to their customers. The company was founded by David Zilick in 2006 and is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Now, right now, as you can tell, let me go back to the day. They're doing okay for today. Right now, the analysts of 8 analysts, they're saying do not buy GreenSky. If you have GreenSky, hold it. And 13% say you should sell it. So out of 100% of those 8 analysts, they're saying, hey, 88% of whoever's holding the stock, hold it. 13% sell. Okay, 13% sell. All right, there's nothing significant to report down here, but let's go over to Market Watch so we can break down the stock just a little bit more. Let's look at the volume here. See, we got public float at 42.8 million. Beta is 1.16. PE ratio is at 13.55 compared to who? That should be your question. Let's see, average volume is 1.18 million. And if you can notice the 5-day, 1 month, 3 month, year to date, 1 year, again, we know that if you look at their past, they're not performing well at all. They're not performing well at all when it comes to their past. But we need to dive a little bit deeper to see, because here's the thing, again, the best investments come when you invest in a stock or a company, right? Same, it's synonymous, same thing. When they are undervalued or they're in a downturn, because this company has been around since 2006. Now, as far as the market is concerned, they only became public 2 years ago. So all these are significant information to make a very educated decision about investing in this company the way forward. 2 words I want you to really to think about. 2 words: financial, technology. Financial, technology. What is Bitcoin? Financial, technology. Financial technology, because there's two huge hubs out there. You have Gemini and you have Coinbase, to name a couple. You have Gemini and Coinbase, to name a couple, that really moves large sums of Bitcoin, large sums of cryptocurrencies. But you see how all this ties into. Why would you name your company a financial technology company? Okay, let's read a little bit more. I really want to break this down to you. And this is to give you information, whether you to invest or not to invest. Okay, that's what these stock views. This is the heart of what I'm trying to do. Give you the information for you to make a decision based upon it, because it's somewhat biased. Anyone who gives you information is somewhat biased. Now, I'm trying to do an unbiased review, but let's see where the information leads us. Okay, right here. GreenSky is a technology company. It operates a lending platform that enables retailers, blah, blah, blah. The same thing we read on Robinhood, okay? So let's move right along. Profile. This is going to break down the profitability, capital structures, valuation, efficiencies. This is why I love Market Watch. You've seen me come to this website many times before, so I just love to look at some of the financials. You can see who the people are, the officers and executives. And look at this. The CEO is a young guy. He's only 45 years old, where the president and chief risk officer is 53 years of age. So essentially, there's no one in the top five that's over the age of 60. I mean, these guys are fairly young. Okay, even though this company started back in 2006, they just became public 2 years ago. Now, we can break down the current ratios. We can break down the efficiencies, the employees. But here's another thing. This company is so young when it comes to, being public on the stock market. It says income per employee, 27,000. Now, anytime you think about a technology company, like 27,000, you're thinking most people make six figures. Not when a company is trying to pull themselves up and become very profitable. So we're going to get into some news about this company, but we're just going to look through a few more tabs here and see if there's any pertinent information that we really need to look at. Nope. We're not trying to bore ourselves with this information. Where are we at? That tab took me all the way out. While they're going to the financials, here's a good option for you guys when you go on Market Watch to view the ratios, and they color code them for you, so you can actually look across and see what's deficient or efficient when it comes to the financials of GreenSky or any other stock that you guys are looking at. Okay. So let's see here. Net income. I love to look at net income. Now, granted, we need to come up here to look at the years right up here, guys. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, etc. Then we come down here and say, okay, we know the last column is 2019. We got the net income. Now, 2018, when they first came out the gate, they looked like they started off doing well, and then they started doing really, really bad. But now in 2019, it looks as though they're doing a turnaround. Look like they can start becoming profitable. Now and again, all of this looks nice, right? All of the financials, you're looking at this. But again, I don't want to sway you one way or another. But again, I want to tell you one of the key indicators of how a stock is going to perform in the next day, in the next week, in the next month. You know what I'm about to say, right? Stock news. Stock news. And this is one of the most important stock news. This is dated June 10th, okay? And it's basically what GreenSky did. They closed down on a loan that was $75 million. Now, I had a story up here for you guys. Let me find that. It was very intriguing news. But it says here that GreenSky will use the proceeds of a $75 million incremental term loan facility for general corporate purposes to enhance its liquidity position. The incremental loan term is priced at LIBOR at 450 basis points, with a 1% LIBOR floor. Now you're saying, what does that mean? Let's break it down a little bit more. That was from Seeking Alpha. I don't know why it took me there. I'm trying to find out one story that I was looking at about the UK as well. GreenSky stock plunges after earnings miss. Okay, that's back in March. Shares outstanding. And let's look at one more thing that you guys may find interesting. The SEC filings for GreenSky. See, here's a good track record of what's going on with this particular company. You can go in and give you all the information listed here. And a lot of people didn't actually understand that all this information is right here on MarketWatch. They actually upload the information for you to go and do your research. And this may not be pertinent for most people because they're like, I'm not trying to get this deep, but I'm just kind of I'm kind of navigating you to find certain information about a stock that sometimes when I'm like, you know what, it's an under $10 stock. It's a technology company, it's dealing finance. Do I want to put my money there? That is the question. So if I want to buy, let's say 100 of these stocks, right? That's roughly going to cost me $500, maybe close to $560. Then I really want to do some good research before I put my money in there because tomorrow they may be down $3. But again, we are investing in long term. Okay, investing long term. Good morning, Clan Killer. All right, so let's move right along. Let's go back to Robinhood. We're looking at GreenSky and look at it the 3-month term here. 3-month term, again, this is about 2019 and above because we understand in 2018, when they first came out, they did horribly, okay? The past year did horribly. Right here, 2019, they were up 3% essentially. Then we understand COVID hit, boom. So again, we cannot look at this particular stock during the time frame of COVID-19. We just can't because you're going to see 98% of the stocks on the market, whether it be NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, or the S&P 500, you're going to see them take a deep dive between March, April, and somewhat of May, okay? March, April, and somewhat of May. They're going to take a downturn, but what's imperative is this last 1 to 3 months, how they're performing. So when we do the average, okay, they were up 62% in the past 3 months. Let's look at the peak here. So June 8th, they were up 88%. They went up to $6, okay? And then if we go back 1 month, let's look at where they're dropped essentially. This is July 15th at 10 a.m. They went down 14 points. So a lot of times when you're breaking down a stock and you're thinking about investing a large, you're trying to buy a large amount, a certain volume, you're like, you know what? I got $1,000 I want to drop inside of a stock, right? Because even though that dealing with ETFs and index funds, you have a basket of different stocks that's in the same industry. The more you invest in one stock, the riskier it is, but the profitability is a lot more, okay? The profitability is a lot more because if you invest $1,000 in this particular one stock and it goes up, let's go back to that 1 year. I'm sorry, 3 months. It was 3 months. And it goes up 88%, then you do the math. You get what I'm trying to say? But if you're doing a basket of stocks, then your money is incrementally dispersed throughout all those different stocks within the fund. So that is very imperative to note and for you to understand that. So when you invest in one stock, it's riskier than investing inside of a fund, but your profitability is a lot higher. Is that when you talk about ETFs and index funds, they're safer and you have consistent returns. So the older you are, the older you get, you should be looking for more solid and less riskier investment. No investment is safe. They could be safer, but no investment is safe. Okay, I just want to point that out. Now, if I would say that an investment is safe, I would definitely say U.S. government bonds are safe. Okay, U.S. government bonds are safe. Their return is 1 to 4% because essentially everybody knows that the federal government is going to pay you your money. So right now, that's the only thing I can say as far as investment is concerned is safe. U.S. government bonds, not corporate bonds, not junk bonds, not risky bonds, U.S. federal government bonds, okay? All right, so I think I broke down GreenSky enough. Usually I say, hey, I will invest in this, or I believe you should invest in this. I'm gonna leave this one open, guys. because the information is staggering. It's all over the field. And I really want you to go in and do your little bit of research to see if this is a good stock buy. Now, I know there's some people probably in the chat that say, hey, this is a good stock buy. I'm going to get into it. Right now, I don't want to give my advice on this. So this is not essentially a stock tip, just a stock review. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm up in the air. I'm in the middle. I'm on a seesaw. I'm back and forth. I don't know yet. Okay. I don't know yet because, again, 8 analysts is not a lot of information for me to go off, but all of them are saying do not buy it. Okay. Do not buy. But that doesn't mean anything. They can be absolutely wrong. Okay. All right. Here we go. It says, Kankler says DraftKings is back on the train. Okay. All right. Let's move right along. Now, for a small commercial break, we're going to quickly review my new website. The name of it is Ross World Financial. So if you want to go check this out, this is rossworldfinancial.com. Again, that's rossworldfinancial.com. And this is where you can go on and you can get one-on-one coaching. And there's different packages. Okay, there's different packages that you can go through. That's very, very frugal. Let me tell you. So for a 15-minute financial life coach session, you're like, what can we accomplish in 15 minutes? We can accomplish a lot in 15 minutes because I'm going to get on the phone and we're going to be rocking and rolling from the jump. Okay. Now we're talking about now you're getting serious. Okay. This is mostly going to be about creating that budget and the different strategies and different methods about how to create that budget. Okay. And then pay it off. Now we're talking about getting out of debt. Okay. If you saw the interview with me and Stephen Gardner about one of the best methods of getting out of debt, there's also other methods to get out of debt because maybe the debt snowball is not the right one for you. Maybe it's the debt avalanche. Maybe it's the cash flow index. There's different methods of getting out of debt, but there's ways that you can actually start securing your future by freeing up all that debt that you may have. And then invest in your future. We're going to go over investments where I believe where you are in your life, your health, your financials, how old you are will dictate and walk through where you should be investing, what sectors, what industries, what funds, etc. And then we're talking about your freedom, you being a boss. Okay, you being a boss. Okay, so let's just look at one of these very quickly. Now let's go over the pricing. $1 for 15 minutes. I know you can't beat that. I know you can't. And then you're getting serious, $15 for 20 minutes, $25 for 30 minutes, $25 for 45 minutes, invest in your future. And then for 1 hour, 35. You can ask anyone around. I promise you, I will be the cheapest. Okay. Most frugalist. All right. So you hit book now. And this will give you a quick walkthrough. And you can actually schedule when you want me to call you, or you can call me. And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, my number is down here. My number is down here. I list my number. That way, you can give me a call. We can do a manual. You can just give me a call and we can schedule over the phone, or you can go on my website and you can actually schedule for yourself. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, anything like that, you can also scroll down here. I also have my email. My email is rossworldllc@gmail.com. And then, of course, I have all of my social media links right here for you guys to go and join, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and, of course, YouTube. Okay, of course, YouTube. All right, enough about me. Let's move on to Bitcoin. Now, this is the news that I wanted to give you guys, that we understand that essentially Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency. It is the, how can I say it? It's kind of like when we talk about the value of different currencies around the world, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the US dollar is not king. I think the Kuwaiti dinari, there's a lot of other dinaris that are worth a lot more than the American dollar. Let's look up Kuwait dinari to US. Let's look at this. This is going to be fun for you guys. So one Kuwaiti dinari equals $3.25. So you're telling me a Middle Eastern company, one of their dollars equals $3.25 and 25 cents of American coin. You see what I'm talking about? You're like, man, I need to go work in Kuwait for the Kuwaitis. And the reason why their money is worth so much more than ours, they probably have 1/5 of the world's oil. Okay. And we buy a bunch of oil from Kuwait. So, and also they have, let's see what they say here. The value of Kuwait dinar, first issued in 1961, is $3.30. It is considered the most valuable currency due to its stable value and is not subject to supply and demand. Kuwait ended the link between the dinar and the US dollar since 2007 and connected the currency with the value of a package of currencies. So again, for every one Kuwait dinar is $3.25. So believe me, when it comes to, the value of money, America is not on top. But let me just say, remember, you go watch all of those Roman Empire in Greece and Greco-Roman. I think that's a wrestling style that has nothing to do with it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about, those like Spartacus and all of that. What they always say, all roads lead to Rome. In this sense, all roads lead to the U.S. Money flows in and out the U.S. because we're one of the biggest consumers, but we are a giant in business. Now, China is too, but China without America wouldn't survive. And I hate to say this, guys. Right now, we don't produce a lot of, just look around your home. And I know you guys seen numerous of products that say made in China. America would not survive without China right now. Back in the day, we used to make 90% of our own goods. Now, I really want to say it's the flip side of that. I know I'm off a couple of numbers here and there, but every time I pick up something, it says made in China. Well, that one says made in Taiwan. So, China. All right, let's move right along. Let's go back to Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin is up 2.4% at $223. Now, why is that? Now, let's move right along right here. So, Bitcoin rises with stocks as UE, the European nation, agrees to $750 billion in coronavirus stimulus. So I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit here. Where is it? Okay, Bitcoin has recently, let me highlight it for you guys. Bitcoin has recently developed a strong positive correlation with the stock markets. Equities remain vulnerable to a potential escalation in lingering Sino-US tensions. Okay, so all of this is what I love. Stock news, stock news, stock news, stock news. Because these are great indicators of how stocks and currencies are going to rise and fall. Okay, it's going to rise and fall. Because, yeah, I broke down GreenSky almost to the bare bones, very briefly, right, to the bare bones. But a lot of times, the information, the news, if you say, hey, what are the 3 top things that I need to be looking at in order to invest in cryptocurrencies or stocks on the stock market? Let me tell you something. The 3 things you need to be looking at. First and foremost, let's just get it out the way. Stock news. Stock news. If you can get the news quicker than everybody else of Elon Musk driving drunk in the passenger seat of a Tesla, chances are, and it crashes, chances are Tesla stock is going to go down. If you get that information first, go ahead and sell your Tesla, right? Go and sell your Tesla stock. It's going to drop and then buy it back at a lower price because then it's going to go back up again once he fixes whatever he needs to fix, and then the sales increase. This is how it works. This is how it works, okay? Or someone quits a particular job. The stocks usually plummet a little bit, 1, 2, 3, 5%. Okay, sometimes even 10%. Go and sell your shares, and then when it plummets, then buy them back. Okay, then buy them back because you'll buy more at a lesser price. That's kind of what I call my quick trip to dollar cost averaging. The quick trip to dollar cost averaging. Okay, so that's 1, stock news. 2, PE ratio. PE ratio. What's the current stock price? Okay. What's the current stock price Then what is the EPS? And we went over that algorithm again. If you guys want to check out how I break down PE ratios within the past month, you'll find that video. It's very easy to find. The title is PE ratio, okay? How to compute PE ratios right on my channel. And last but not least, what's most important is if that stock is undervalued, chances are it's going to go up. It's going to go up significantly, and your profit margin is going to be large depending on the amount that you buy. It depends on the quantity, the volume of shares of that stock that you buy. So stock news, PE ratio gives you the under or over value, okay? And again, we want to focus on a stock being undervalued, okay? A stock being undervalued. Now, let me break down news really quickly. I know I'm still working on the third. News not only gives you what's going good in the company, what's going bad in the company, but you know what also helps the price of shares? Contracts. Anytime you see a company enter a contract for millions and billions of dollars, chances are the next day or the next week, that stock is going to rise significantly, depending on how much somebody put inside that company. Oh, Amazon put a 50 billion stake inside of GreenSky. That stock in the next week, I'm almost certain that is going to go up. Now, no one can predict or guess the stock market, but history, analytics, and indicators will tell you that. That brings me to the third. You got news, you got your PE ratio, what gives you undervalue or overvalue, and then your indicators, all your indicators, okay? Your movement averages, your RSIs, all of those things help you to make a well-educated decision. Would you should invest or not? And a lot of times, if you guys want to be active investors, okay? Not passive meaning you're like, you know what, I'm looking at the stock market every day, not to drive myself crazy, but to look for the next stock to invest in. That is why I'm looking at the stock market, to look at the next stock to invest in. An active trader. That doesn't mean that you're going to buy that day, because every day I don't buy stocks every day. I don't have a lot of money like that. No. Okay. I don't have that type of money, but I like to buy a couple of stocks every week. Okay. Cause again, we're talking about investing $5 a day, $150 a month. So that means every week, essentially, right? Every week, essentially, if you're saying Monday through Friday, $25. So if I buy a stock like, let's look over here back at GreenSky. Let's see how they're doing. Okay, GreenSky today is $5.31. So I say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy 4 of GreenSky. I'm gonna buy 5 of GreenSky. Okay, because we're still working on that $150 a month, $5 a day. Because essentially, if you're still at work, and hopefully you are, and you're not furloughed, you haven't been laid off, you're not waiting for unemployment, you're not waiting for the second stimulus that nobody knows when that's going to happen, then you can still invest for your future. Because here's the thing, this is not the first pandemic that the world has had. There has been other pandemics. And when people say we're going to get through this, we're going to get through this, because believe me, whoever finds the cure, whatever pharmaceutical, biotech, medical company finds a cure, what they're banking on, they're going to make billions of dollars off of vaccines and cures, because countries are going to buy it. Other pharmaceutical companies are going to buy it. Okay. They're going to buy it by the buttloads. Okay. By the pallets. Like, you know what? We have 330 million people in America. You know, we have this, we have that. You know what? We need 1 trillion vaccines. We need 1 trillion vaccines, because the pharmaceutical companies in this country are going to do what? I mean, they're working on it as well, but there's still other foreign national pharmaceutical companies and biotech medical companies that are also working on it as well. Let's just say, for instance, Korea comes up with a cure. Like, you know what? Give us 1 trillion vaccines, because a quarter of those vaccines are going to go to our bio and pharmaceutical companies to test for side effects and how to improve it. And then again, knowing America, to make it a little bit more expensive. But anyway, that was the bias I'm telling you about. You know how I can say sometimes you just be biased. That's my bias. But we know how things essentially are. Okay. Let's move right along. I'm going to read some of your notes and see where you guys are at. Let's see here. All right. Cancel says, check out VBI vaccine. I did check that out. I did check out VBI vaccine. I believe I looked into that last week. Let's see how they're performing. Right now they are down. Okay. But I think for the past year, they've been doing quite well. Now, if you guys say, hey, I want to come in here and get some information to invest in, me personally, this is a company I would like to invest in. They're doing really, really well. But again, I just like to put the disclaimer out there. When it comes to these biomedical, pharmaceutical, anything deals with vaccines and cures and medicines, be very, very careful, because these are the most volatile stocks on the market. One day you can be a hundredaire. The next day it can make you a millionaire. The next day you can be homeless. That is how powerful medical, biopharmaceutical, pharmaceutical tech companies are, because they come out with a great medicine that helps thousands, 100,000s, millions of people. They come to find out it makes them bleed from their nose and their all other bowels and openings and out their ears, and all the side effects begin to occur. And then their stock will plummet. So one day you're a hundredaire, next day, because it did so well, you're a millionaire, and then the next day you're homeless. So be careful. These are the ones you need to watch almost every day. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for today. I may see you guys later on tonight. But anyway, I want you guys to check out my website. That's rawsworldfinancial.com. So we can have a one-on-one, have a great conversation, give you some information so you can be financially free today and tomorrow. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. All right, guys, you have a great day. I'm out.